Hi guys, welcome back to Dimitra's Dishes. So today I'm going to teach you how to make my mom's Psarosoupa. Psarosoupa just translates to fish soup, but it's not any ordinary fish soup. It's delicious, it's lemony, it's fresh and light. We're going to go over the ingredients and then we're going to get started. So we're going to be using 2.5 to 3 pounds of whole fish that's cleaned. We need some potatoes that are peeled and cubed into big chunks. A little bit of rice, some carrots, celery, onions, salt, black peppercorns, a little bit of olive oil, and we'll go over the Lemony ingredients in a little bit when we get to it. But about the fish, red snapper is what's very easily available in my part of the world where I live, but you can use any fish that's good for boiling. Codfish is good, monkfish is good. Whatever you have, just make sure that you have them clean it really well. You take out all of the intestines and stuff, take out all of the fins, and then if they can cut it for you, that's even better. But we're going to use the entire fish, including the head, because the head has a lot of flavor, a lot of nutrients, and it's just really good for you. You don't want to skimp out on that if you want to get the maximum flavor and a lot of nutrition in the soup. The soup is hearty and delicious, and you're going to see right now just how easy it is to make. So in my pot over here, I have about 8 cups of cold water. To this, I'm going to add all of my vegetables. I'm going to also add a little bit of salt, about 1/4 cup of olive oil, some fresh peppercorns, black peppercorns, and then we're going to add the fish in. This takes about the same time for the fish to cook that it does for the vegetables to cook, so we're going to cook it all together. First, we're going to begin cooking it on a high heat. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to reduce the heat, cover it, leaving a little bit of room for the steam to escape, and let it simmer for about 20-25 minutes or until the fish and the vegetables are cooked, and then we're going to move on to the next step. So after about 20 minutes, the fish and the vegetables should be cooked. You're just going to take them out carefully and set them on a plate, and then we're going to strain all of the stock out once we get all the vegetables and the fish, just to make sure there aren't any fish bones left in there. So once you strain all the stock, you want to put it back in. So now we're going to set this bowl aside. So now we're just going to add the rice in. And the rice is optional. Some people either put potatoes or they put rice, but my mom always put both, so that's how I'm making it. It makes for a much heartier soup. I'm going to add a little bit of salt in here, about 1/2 teaspoon. Give it a nice mix. We're going to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to let it simmer until the rice is fully cooked. So we're going to let the rice simmer here for about 15-20 minutes or until it's cooked, and then we're going to move on to the next step. So the rice needs 1 or 2 more minutes. I've removed the bones from the fish. I'm going to set it aside, and the vegetables. I'm only using half of the vegetables, so that way the soup is not too chunky. And now I'm going to make the Lemony sauce. So for the Lemony sauce, I'm going to need some lemon juice. I usually use 2 lemons, depending on how juicy they are. You can use anywhere from 1/4 cup of lemon juice all the way up to 1/2 cup, depending on how lemony you like it. Set that aside. We're going to need 2 egg yolks. I'm going to save the whites because in an upcoming video I'm going to teach you how to make amygdalota, which are a Greek almond macaroon cookie, which are so delicious. You're going to want to look out for that. All we need are the yolks today for the soup, a tablespoon of cornstarch, and we're going to do about 1/4 cup of olive oil. Really good quality Greek olive oil. We're just going to whisk this all up with the lemon juice, of course. We'll start with 1/4 cup. I like mine fairly lemony. There's just a little bit left in here. Let's catch the seeds and just whisk until it's smooth. Let's take a look at the rice, and sure enough, the rice is cooked. We're just going to add the fish in, along with as many vegetables as you like. You can add all of them or just some of them. It's totally up to you. Give it a nice mix. Now we're going to temper our egg mixture. We're going to take some of the hot liquid and put it in our egg lemon sauce, so that way that when it goes in here, it's going to be nice and velvety and thick and rich and not scrambled eggs. That should be good. I'm going to pour it back in here. This is going to thicken the sauce and give it a tremendous amount of flavor. We're going to warm it through for a couple of minutes. So this is going to thicken more as it sits, but this has warmed through already. I'm going to go ahead and taste it. And just as I suspected, it needs a little bit more lemon juice, so I juiced 1 more lemon. I'm going to pour it in here, and it also needs a little bit more salt. So I'm going to go in here and add a little bit more salt. And now it's perfect. The soup is ready. So now I'm gonna go in and give it a little taste, even though it's piping hot. The fish is just perfectly cooked. It's really nice and fresh. The broth has so much flavor from the vegetables and of course from the fish. Make sure you buy the freshest fish that you can find. So delicious. I don't know, some people do only potatoes, either potatoes or rice. My mom always did both, and I highly suggest that you use both because it just adds so much more heartiness to the meal, makes it a complete meal. You can totally toast some bread and dip it in and eat it, but you don't need it. You can if you want to, but just as it is, it's super delicious, very hearty, perfect to warm you up on those cold winter days. If you guys want the recipe, as always, it's in the description box down below, as well as on the website, www.dimitrasdishes.com. Let me know what you think. Like if you like the video and share with your friends. Sharing is caring after all. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you all next time. Yes. And it's just really good stuff, really good for you. Really good stuff is usually good for you.